welcome you to another round of the Limit of Adhesion Endurance series. We stay in the United States. We are at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway driving the road course layout. And what do we have in store for you? 18 cars will participate in this race. We are on a layout that is a little bit under 4 kilometers long. I would expect somewhere between 41 to 43 laps. And as the drivers are taking the formation lap for the rolling start, let's see the top 5 from qualifying. And if we compare it to last time, we see pretty similar, because out of the top 5 from last time, 4 are in the top 5 this time. Joshua Martinez in pole position, Lucas Cipolla, our race winner from Road Atlanta, in P2, Charles Vasquez, the only new driver in the top 5 compared to last week's qualifying, he is in P3, Zachary Liebold P4, and Matthew Hansel is in P5. Yeah, what can we say about this layout? If you're only familiar with the old Indianapolis layout from the Formula 1 days, you can see it on the track map at the top right. It looks a bit different. The section around turn 5 is different. The section between turn 8 and 9 is a bit different. And there is a chicane in turn 12 and 13. I wonder why. Hint, hint, 2005. Either way, we are now in the second sector of the formation lap, so we are almost done. We are now going to turn 10, and I'm really looking forward to this race. One more after this for the season, so it is getting close to the end. But now enjoy the start of the race. The pace car almost there, as we have a look from its rear view towards all the cars, double filing. Now heading to the chicane. We will see now. We turn into turn 12 and turn 13. It's a bit longer than you think from the track map itself. It feels longer, at least at these speeds. The pace car is off, so it means that we are waiting for one, the camera to change, thank you, and B, for green lights. And oh, Joshua Martinez went to the gas pretty quick, but now once the green lights were appearing, this was when the hour has officially begun. 18 drivers, and you see one little change from last time I presented you the race from Road Atlanta. We have a lap counter in the somewhat top left next to the name of the track, just in case we forget. No, it just looked a bit empty with just a lap counter, so I placed in something else there. And now we have it. Alex Murphy, the only Acura in the field, P7, jumped over the curb there a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Rich Meesters, highest ranked bronze driver. We have 1, 2, 3 of them in the field. He's in P12. We also have a car already trailing. Sebastian Bovey lost 5 positions, 13 seconds away. Luke Slutz, P8. He has Danny Chan next to him through that chicane for the first time out of, I would assume, 41, 42 times. But let's not focus too much on this. Instead, let's focus on the race. Martinez, Vasquez, who gained 1 position from Lucas Cipolla, Matthew Hansel, Unture, Morlarin in the top 5. 4 out of the 5 are Aston Martins. It is, like last week, the most driven car. 10 times out of 18, so more than half the field is the Aston Martin. Luke Slutz, the only BMW. I think last time it was also only one BMW, but this is okay. Every driver prefers something else, of course. Mark Innes in P16 got past Blake Tovey. We have 4 silver drivers: Danny Chan, Timon Slutz, Mark Kelly, and Mark Innes. And Mullerin chasing Matthew Hansel. We can already see a bit of a gap forming between P6 and 7, 2.2 seconds. 125s on the clock for the top 6, and then 126 for the cars behind that. Mullerin, P4, gained 2 positions from qualifying. And his goal is to gain even more. Next stop would be at the race winner from Road Atlanta though, Lucas Sipula. So can get a bit difficult. But we love a good challenge. Mark Kelly, okay, this was just a blinking issue from 15 to 18 back to 15. And Timon Slutz to the inside. Attacks Danny Chan. And is now in P8. The car 777. Rich Meesters, P11, he gained 3 positions, biggest winner of the opening phase of the race. Also Steve Pepper gained 3 positions. But the race is very, very young. We are in minute 4, lap 3. Race goes a full hour, and we can see Joshua Martinez already under 125. Same goes for Lucas Sipula. And Vasquez not being able to go the pace, at least now. Mullerin and Matthew Hansel, 0.3 seconds, currently one of the closer battles on track. I think you can cut a little bit of that curb. Now seeing 3 cars back to back driving over that. I love consistency in off tracks in iRacing. And Mark Kelly's car is not looking good. It's already missing something. And Mark Innes to the inside of turn 7. Gets through. And is now in P15. Yeah, these early incidents, they hurt because you carry them the entire race with you. And in the case of Mark Kelly, losing the front bumper, probably losing quite a bit of speed on the straights, and this is not so good on this part in particular, where Lucas Sipula and Vasquez Sipula looks too far away. Slides back behind Charles Vasquez. Danny Chan, top 10 position for the moment. Wants to get past Luke Slutz to regain his qualifying position. I am looking at the map and I can see that I noticed it a bit earlier, but now I have time to talk about Blake Tovey. No longer in the race, so 17 cars remaining. Race to forget for the Llama crew for the most part. Mark Kelly missing a front bumper. Blake Tovey out of the race. Zach Liebel though in P6, this is pretty good, even though he lost 2 positions. Race is super early. Don't worry too much about that. Justin Maurice Weisbecker. Longest name in the field this time. Had to extend the width of the name part of the overlay for this, but it's alright. It's alright. Fastest lap, Charles Vasquez. So it's back and forth, 1.3 seconds behind Martinez, gained quarter of a second there. If he can keep it up, that would be amazing in terms of a battle for the race lead. Meanwhile, Lucas Cipolla is looking. He wants to get past Vasquez. Feels he is faster, but first he has to overtake. Now goes to the inside for turn 7. He's a bit far behind. Brakes late. Gets it done. Is there a counter opportunity? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So Vasquez stays in P2. And this is good for Martinez because this costs time. Every battle costs time, of course. But the 1, 2, 3 are getting slowly away from the rest. 2 seconds between 3 and 4. And we have that little group of 4, 5 and 6. And then 4 seconds almost. Steve Pepper. Last time at Road Atlanta, it was a race to forget for the Pepper family. This time it looks a bit better for Steve. So far he is in P13. And Cipolla is still looking. Where is the opportunity? Patience. Patience, patience, patience. That's the name of the game in a 1 hour long race. Because you have time. You have time. Even though you are behind P2, you're extending your gap to P4. Leader is driving a similar pace. So far everything is alright. Mark Innes gets another position. Chris White, now he's in P14. The second highest McLaren in the field out of the 4, or rather 3, because Blake Tovey is out of the race. 10 minutes in, 17 cars remaining. Fastest lap, Charles Vasquez, 124.6. Now Chris White also loses a position to Mark Kelly. So the two marks are back to back in 14 and 15. But you wonder how much slower Mark Kelly's car is with that damage. Matthew Hansel, P5. This is where he started. He got past Zach Liebold, but lost the position to Ture Mollerin. And the 3 are super close together. But so far, no positional changes up there. Justin Maurice Weisbecker behind Rich Meesters. Aston Martin versus Aston Martin battle, and Mark Innes gets another one. Steve Pepper again in turn 7, his favorite spot for an overtake, it appears to be like. But now he is in P13, almost there where he started. He was qualifying in P11. Fastest lap, Cipolla, 124.5. And now it's super close between the top 3. They gained half a second, and now there's only half a second between 1 and 2. Blake Tovey has returned. He is in the pits, he is driving, so there was a technical issue, connection issue, I would assume. It sucks, it ruins your race, but kudos for saying, okay, I will just drive it. I will just drive it. I'm out of the race, basically. I'm doing it on my own. Maybe there are a few did not finishes, 1 or 2 disqualifications because of incident counter, so maybe I can get something out of it. You never know in a 1 hour long race. Remember Road Atlanta last time, where we had a similar situation where we said, just drive it and maybe you gain 1 or 2 positions, which was indeed the case. It was, I think I talked about Thomas Bruin in that regard last time, if I remember correctly. Martinez picked the pace up a bit now, but 2 and 3 were still faster. Luke Slutz and Timon Slutz side by side on the start finish line, and the power of the BMW puts him in P8. But yeah, we talked about the differences in cars, different characteristics. Maybe they are close in lap time across the lap, but some cars better in the twisty sections, some cars better on the straights, and this is the interesting part about GT3 racing. Knowing your car is one thing, knowing the car ahead or behind you another factor to know, okay, this is that car, I need to be careful in the twisty sections, and vice versa. Know your opponent. That's the name of the game. And the top 3 are flying. 3.5 seconds to P4. But maybe now the battle is a 3-way. They lose a bit time in a battling situation. 4, 5, and 6 get closer. We will watch the lap times for that. But again, overtaking easier said than done. Justin Maurice Weisbecker and Rich Meesters. This is for P11 at the end of the start-finish straight. And Maurice Weisbecker is in P11. Oh, now Sipula late on the brake. And they contact! Ooh! And this is costly for them. Do they lose positions? Yes, no, no. The gap was big enough. But Joshua Martinez says, thank you very much. So the good news, nothing really happened in terms of positioning, but time. 2 seconds lost as a result of this ambitious overtake attempt. It looked very late on the brake. And then the cars collided. Both got into the grass. And here we are. Zach Liebel really close to Matt Hansel. 0.1 seconds. Sipula tries it again. And this time no contact. This time he gets past. And now he needs to chase Joshua Martinez. And of course, step 1 is not chasing Martinez. Step 1 is getting away from Charles Vasquez to not be in a position where he could retake P2. So for the moment, think about the car behind you. 0.6 seconds is a decent gap. Remember, Sipula and Vasquez drive the same car, the Aston Martin, so they should know the best what to expect from the other car, as it is their own. Let's see the lap times. Yeah, Sipula, fastest lap of the race. This is what he has to do. 1:24.495. This is what he has to do. And for Vasquez, stay with him. Stay with him. Maybe he can take you up to Joshua Martinez, and then you can capitalize from it. I am looking through the field, and if we take a look at the road map or track map, it is pretty spread out this time. We have 4, 5, and 6 that are close, 11, 12 somewhat close, and of course this battle between 2 and 3. But other than that, it's pretty spread out for the moment. This can change, of course. This can change. Which is also why we can focus on that battle so much, because it is the most prominent one. And there aren't too many at the moment. Matthew Hansel to Remolarin, same situation between the 4, 5, and 6. Overtaking, easier said than done. Good exit out of turn 4. This is what you need for an overtake. Then jumping over 5 and 6 as quickly as possible. And then you might have a chance for turn 7. Might. Mark Innes showed it a few times in this race, for example, so it is possible. Vasquez, 0.3 seconds. If we take a look, the gap between 1 and 2 is getting smaller. It was over 2 seconds after the incident. And now Molarin and Hansel side by side through turn 14. Through turn 14. And ooh, little bit, watch out. Man, Hansel a little bit in front, but now Molarin has the better positioning maybe. Let's see, they're still side by side. We saw them in the back. I think Molarin is able to defend, but we have to see. Looks like it, he was able to defend, but this was close. Of course, it lost a lot of time to P2 and 3, but look at this. He tries it, he goes for it. Oh, and he sticks it. Nicely done. Really late on the brake, but he took the corner perfectly. And thus he's now in P4. Also Charles Vasquez. Oh, this was not so fine. This was not so perfect. Missed the apex. There was contact. Sipula probably not happy about it. And he lets him through again, knows this was too much. We saw a car in trouble there for a moment. And then here this other group. 4, 5, 6, and now P7 also pretty close. Alex Murphy in his Acura. So the group of 3 has become a group of 124. Murphy against Zachary Liebold, who goes to the inside but stays behind Ture Mollerin too far away. He knows it, he doesn't do it. And this group of 4 will produce, hopefully, the odd great battle or 2. I mean, there's still enough time on the clock. 22 minutes have passed, so we are not even at halftime. We are on lap 16. And yeah, how much did they lose as a result out of all of this? Look at the lap times from last lap. Sipul and Vasquez now back in the 124s. This is the pace they need to catch Joshua Martinez. Zach Liebold. Yeah, he is stuck there in P6 at the moment. I mean, he tries, he's looking, he's waiting if there's an opening for him, but for the moment it is not. But he has to stay patient. No desperation dive that risks his race, or the race of his opponent, of course. Especially since if you take a look at the map, P8, 9 and the rest of the field are so far away by now. Take your time. Maybe with a bit of slipstream, maybe with the power of the Ford. He gets closer. Ture Mollerin has to defend, chooses to defend the inside. Probably the smart choice by Mollerin. And he is able to stay in P5. But yes, make him work. Make him work. The more he has to work, the more he has to look after you in his rearview mirror, the higher the chance for a mistake and thus an overtaking opportunity for you. This is what you have to do. Make them think, make them work. Because a combination of those two means higher chance for a mistake. Like here, Mollerin didn't hit the apex as smoothly as he wanted to. Was a good car with next to it. And now Zach Liebold super close, and Matthew Hansel says, thank goodness I can get away. 1.1 second as a result. Mark Kelly and Danny Chan, who lost 6 positions in this race, was in the top 10 for the last time we saw him. And now he's behind Mark Kelly and the missing front bumper, McLaren. Now Zach Liebold, look, to the inside. Last lap he was to the outside, now he's on the inside. And look, maybe Alex Murphy as well, opportunistic. We cut away from it as we get another battle. Mollerin, I'm looking on P6 as Mark Innes gets Rich Meesters, and yes, Alex Murphy was able to get P6. Advantageous, opportunistic, this is how you have to be. The lap before Liebold had to be on the outside, now he was able to get to the inside and thus getting the corner as he wants it, pushing to the outside as far as legally possible, slowing down Ture Mollerin, and Alex Murphy was able to slip through to the inside as well. We have a car in the pits, Chris White. So he is about to be lapped, as you can see on the minimap. Rich Meesters. Mark Innes, who made good progress after losing early position. Ooh, watch out there. Don't pit maneuver the car in front of you. And then, oh, the car is really not looking good. There is a few missing things. Ay, 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 ay. Doesn't make the job any easier. And the straight line should tell the story. Yes, there is of course a slipstream, but there is also a difference in high speed between a McLaren that is full and a McLaren that is missing a third of its front. And thus Danny Chang gets passed again and is now in P14. And if you take a look at the lap times, Cipolla again 6/10 faster, so as long as he don't has to battle Vasquez, he is able to catch Martinez. But we have seen that a few times now. And thus Martinez not really in danger lately. But the race is still long. We are nearing the halfway point. Zach Liebold, fastest lap, 1:24.4. Got away from Murphy and Mollerin. Fastest car on track, gained a second on the race leader. A little bit more than that, in fact. So he ain't out of it. Weisbecker, Innes and Rich Meesters. Mark Kelly to the pits. Hopefully he can repair a bit of that damage. We will see. We will see. But yeah, halfway point of the race is approaching. Pit stops, of course, a factor as always. And this is also another factor. If you are, let's say, Cipolla. Let's take him as an example. Oh, okay, car to the pits, never mind. All good, this is Alex Murphy that heads to the pits. But yeah, what I wanted to say. Let's say you're Lucas Cipolla. You are able to close the gap to Martinez. If you stay out longer, maybe you can use that 1 or 2 or 3 laps or how many it will be to overtake him while Martinez already at the pit stop, maybe stuck in traffic, always a factor. So you don't have to overtake him. Oh, it looked a bit clumsy. But maybe overtake indirectly, passively. Or of course you do it on track just to flex. But you have more than one opportunity on how to do it. Mark Innes, Weisbecker defends heavily. It was alright, but now he misses the corner as a result. And this is what I meant earlier. Make your opponent work and think. Weisbecker, he had to work by covering the inside, and he had to think about you by looking into the rearview mirror, thus missing the apex, and as a result losing 2 positions. This was a prime example for that. Make them work, make them think. And so Mark Innes now in P9. Of course, pit stops and all that. Alex Murphy, for example, is in front of him in terms of raw pace and positioning, but pit stops and all that So the standings will look a bit different over the next 10-15 minutes, I would assume, until everyone was in the pits. Meisters. P10. Getting away from Weisbecker, maybe. Maybe we'll see after the mistake if Justin can recover. The next lap times should give us the answer to that, as Meisters chases Mark Innes. 0.6 between 1 and 2. It is getting closer and closer. And P3, Mullerin in the pits. He was in P6. Luke Slutz, he is driving on his own because the car in front of him is a lapped car. So he is in no man's land. Really. The car gets away. Lets him through. Minimal time loss, if any. This is what you want from an overtake of a lapped car. Do not lose time behind them. But yeah, take a look at the minimap between car number 5, 6 and 7. Same goes for Timon Slutz. He is in absolute no man's land in terms of direct competition. But of course this, hopefully, as long as your concentration stays up when you are this lonely, there's no chance of being involved in a crash. Which is not the worst thing in the world. Turim Mullerin and Alex Murphy behind each other, or fighting each other rather, after their pit stops in 13 and 14. This will change. Here on lap 24, car 24 is chasing Alex Murphy, who got past him after Zach Liebold attacked for position. And he slipped through. Which makes you think, on raw pace, from what we have seen in this race, Mullerin should be the faster driver. But can he get past? Can he get past? He has 25 minutes left on the clock, so time is on his side. But then you think about Zach Liebold, his rival on track for most of the early parts of the race. Being behind Alex Murphy too long opens an opportunity for Liebold to get a big gap in. Because take a look, Liebold drove 1:24.6 last lap and Alex Murphy at 25.5. So if he is behind Murphy for too long, he will lose the direct battle against Zach Liebold. Sipula closed the gap, 0.3 seconds. And now he is super close to Josh Martinez. Both jumping over that huge curb. Lap 26 out of probably 42. Sipula, he does the same thing. Show his car. Show that he's there. So that Joshua Martinez has to fight. And another factor is, of course, if you're in this situation, do you change your planned pit stop? Do you go in one or two laps earlier than you had planned to maybe get an opportunity or risk it or try something? Do you go away from your original plan or not? so many things you have to keep in mind. Ture Mollerin now. This is to turn 7. Had a great exit. And now he is past Alex Murphy. Even got past him before the braking zone, really. So, good job by him. This was necessary in his battle against Zach Liebel. Because here, take a look. 125.4 against 124.6. Weisbecker and Rich Meesters over the start-finish line. Same car, the Aston Martin. Weisbecker to the inside. And should get it done. Let's see. Yes, he got it done. Rich Meesters now in P10 as a result. And Sipula, look how close he is. You can't get much closer than that. Goes to the inside. Goes for it. Takes it. Makes it look easy. Can he stick it though? Or is there a counter chance? We cut the way to Alex Murphy. Ooh, little slide there. But I would love to see the leader again. Nothing against this battle, but... yes, thank you. And now Sipula is leading the race as a result. Now Joshua Martinez, for the first time in this race, really, is the chaser, not the chasee. Same question now for him. Will he tweak his pit stop plan or not? Good question, I know. Because now the race situation is a different one for him than it was the entire almost 40 minutes. We are now in minute 39. So the last third of the race is upon us. Meesters and Weisbecker. They are pretty far away from Steve Pepper. 5.6 seconds. And Alex Murphy tries to stick with Ture Mollerin, who now was a little bit faster than Zach Liebel. 2/10. Better than nothing. But this is the race he is now driving. The indirect battle against Zachary Liebel. Sipula appears to be faster at the moment. And I think it was Zach Liebel that just drove a purple sector. So the pace is still there, even at 125. What is this curve? This massive curve, and how does those cars fly over it? Ah! A sight to be seen. One thing is for sure though, Charles Vasquez and his 2.2 second gap, he is at the moment not a factor in this battle, but this can change. None of them go to the pits this time. We are in minute 41, about to start lap 30. Vasquez, he drives a similar lap time, but similar or equal lap time means you're not getting any closer. The good thing for Vasquez, there is an almost 4-second gap to Matthew Hansel, who was 2/10 quicker. 2/10 by a 4-second gap. You need a bit more if you're Matthew Hansel to attack for P3. Good 4 to 5 tenths to give you enough time for an overtake, because this is the other thing you have to think about. it's nice if you close down the gap from 4 to 2 to 1 to half a second. But then you have to do the overtake. Easier said than done. There's a car standing in turn 5. This was Sebastian Bovey. He is moving again. And Alex Murphy chasing Turan Moller. He sticks with him. 1:26.0. Not a good lap though. 1.3 seconds slower than Zach Liebold. And the longer we are looking at this, the more I would say Zach Liebold should have this in the bag. I mean, I've been wrong many times in the past, so don't quote me on that. Ooh, Cipolla goes wide. This was a little mistake. Can Martinez capitalize? Doesn't look like it, but now he is in this position. He has to look in the rearview mirror. He has to think. Timon Slutz in the pits. Oh, really aggressively. Really aggressively. He is close. 0.2, 0.1. Has to go to the outside though. Brakes late. Remember, this is a battle between two different cars. The Audi versus the Aston Martin. But this was close. This was really close to regain his lead. But Cipolla made the right choice, defending the inside line, giving the outside where it is so much more difficult to overtake. Not impossible, but so much more difficult. Alex Murphy and Turan Mollerin, he sticks with him. But again, another 0.4 slower than Zach Liebold. Martinez almost regained his lead. And of course this is time costly. I mean, the mistake of Cipolla, then an overtake attempt, and suddenly there was a 7/10, 8/10 time loss in comparison to car number 34 in P3. So one or two of those and suddenly we have a trio battle for the lead. And no longer this one-on-one. And I think both drivers know this. But still you want to get past. You need to get past in a way. Little slide there. Nothing too crazy, but now 0.4 seconds between them as a result. They stay out. "15 minutes left." Luke Slutz is now in the pits. He was in P6. Let's watch where he will end up after his pit stop. Will take a time, of course, until he is back on track. It is a long pit road here in Indianapolis. Ooh, slide there by Cipolla. This is not what you want. Maybe also the tires. Now a lot of cars in the pits. Slutz, Weisbecker, Meesters. Which is a clear sign that everyone that wasn't in the pit yet probably is about to do so, because time is running out. The tire not as fresh as it once was. And now let's see if we get more cars in the pits this lap. Cipolla is in the pits. And now this is an opportunity, Matthew Hensel as well. Joshua Martinez, this is crunch time. Now you have to be driving to get the opportunity. Alex Murphy, he's still with Ture Mollerin. In front of them is Blake Tovey, who started the race several laps down. But I talked about it. Now he's in P16, getting at least something out of it. So, of course it is not much, but you have to take it. P16 is better than P18. Simple as that. Steve Pepper also now in the pits. Sipula is back out in P5. And this was important for Sipula. Look at the minimap. He barely came out in front of Sebastian Bovy. And that would have been really costly if he was behind that lapped car. Because now every tiny detail matters. With 11 and 42 seconds on the clock, Zach Liebold in the pits. And now let's see where he lands in comparison to Ture Mollerin and Matthew Hensel. Like I said, I fully expect him to be far away from Mollerin. Also Mark Innis in the pits. But like I said, I've been wrong so many times. Don't quote me on that. Let's see how it will turn out to be. Sipula now in P3, overtaking the cars in the pits. And I'm looking at Zach Liebold. Where is he? Right behind Matthew Hensel, I believe. Next to Matthew Hensel, in front of Matthew Hensel. It worked out. It worked out. So Liebold in P5, but Danny Chance still has to go to the pits. So this is for P4. Martinez and Vasquez now also in the pits. And I would assume Danny Chan will follow this lap as well. But yes, Ture Mollerin over 7 seconds behind Liebold. So that worked, and he also got past Matthew Hensel. To be there where he was at the start of the race, and that was in front of Matthew Hensel. And now we see 1 and 2 in the pits. We watch. Number 1 is moving. Is this enough? Should be enough. Should be enough to stay in front. Yes, it is. Pretty convincing even. 3 seconds of a difference. So Martinez is in a prime position to win. But 9 more minutes on the clock. And we have seen crazier things in the past. Martinez, Sipula, Liebold, Hensel, Ture Mollerin, Alex Murphy, Charles Vasquez, Luke Slutz, Mark Innis, and Timon Slutz, the top 10. And now we can talk about, biggest winners of this race. Let's take a look. Mark Innis gained 2 positions. Steve Pepper gained 4. From 17 to 13. In terms of bronze drivers is he number 1. So the battle between 13 and 14, the 2 bronze drivers. This could get interesting. Where are our silver drivers? Mark Innes, Timon Slutz, they are pretty far away from each other. Danny Chan and Mark Kelly did not return after his pit stop. Meesters to the inside. Steve Pepper stays in front though. So it was only a temporarily overtake for Meesters. 7 minutes on the clock. But the gap between 1 and 2 is shrinking again. Of course, another factor is tires. Tire temperature. So it was a 3-second gap, but Joshua Martinez's tires were cold. Sipola's not. Thus, Sipola for these 1 or 2 laps has the clear advantage. And as a result, he was able to close the gap from 3 to 0.7 seconds. But time is running out for Lucas Sipola to repeat his victory from Road Atlanta. Not impossible, definitely not impossible. But time is a factor and overtakes are difficult here, as we have seen across this entire race. I mean, look at the positional changes. +1, +1, +1. Okay, Dan Vasquez, he lost 4 as a result, but no too crazy jumps. I mean, 4 positions once, 2 positions twice. Overtaking is not as easy as it sounds here at Indianapolis. But they are close together, really close. This will go down to the wire. Zach Liebold in P3. Under normal circumstances, a non-issue. 7 seconds, 5.5 minutes. There needs to be something massive. And we don't want to see something massive in terms of a big collision. We don't want to see that. Sipola, fastest lap, he puts on the pressure. Does what he needs to do. Danny Chan lost 2 positions. He is standing in turn 8. It's now driving again. Meanwhile, Meester's still chasing Pepper. For the honor of the bronze victory. Mark Innes should have the silver win in his bag. Under normal circumstances, I repeat myself. But the bronze one ain't decided, and the gold one definitely isn't decided. Sipola, Martinez. 4 minutes on the clock. 42 laps in total. They are about to start lap 40. Meesters, half a second. Two more laps after this. Also, Alex Murphy, he was able to stick with Ture Mollerin for the entire oh, now goes a bit wide there. That looked slow, and we will probably see an increase in gap when once it updates. Yeah, 0.6 up from 0.4. But he should be safe for P6. 3.3 seconds. Should be more than enough. 0.3 is definitely not more than enough for now, because now look. He was watching for it if there is an opening. Now they are super close. Goes to the outside. Different choice of line as a result. This is to be expected. Tries to take it aggressively. Personally, I like the line from Martinez a tad more. But now the long straight Audi versus Aston Martin. 2.5 minutes on the clock. 2 laps. Goes to the inside. Tries it. He tries it. And gets it done for the moment. But Joshua Martinez ain't done. He ain't done. But we have a lead change for the moment, but he is still there. He is still all over Sipula. Better exit out of 5-6. They are next to each other. They touch a little bit. We're more inside each other, but doesn't matter. Sipula. But this is not done. We have one more lap after this. Don't celebrate too soon, Lucas Sipula. Don't celebrate too soon. Josh Martinez. He has another 4.3 kilometers left. Now he has 3.9 kilometers left. Final lap of the race. Final minute of the race. 0.2 is too far away. But Sipula with the mistake. Can he capitalize? Not at the moment. But make him nervous. Again, little bit of a slider, you saw it. It was tiny, but it was visible. Good exit. Very good exit. 0.3, he is far away, but he's getting closer. The power of the Audi goes to the outside. Make him miss the apex, and he misses the apex! And he misses the apex! But he is still there. They are still fighting. Martinez now to the inside. The better positioning for the final chicane. He is still there. Sipula desperately, as he knows that the outside is the worst line for this. And he stays behind as a result, but he had to try it. He had to dive on the outside. Didn't work, didn't succeed, but understandable. And Joshua Martinez, he regains the lead super late and wins it. Lucas Sipula P2, Zachary Liebold P3, Matthew Hensel P4, and Ture Mollerin in the top 5. Alex Murphy, Charles Vasquez, Luke Slutz. Woo! What a finish! What a finish, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Innes now over the finish line as well. Do we see any more battles? No. 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14 are super far separated from each other. This is Timon Slutz. Weisbecker P11. As a result of the battle, we sadly missed a mistake from Rich Meesters, who is now super far away from Steve Pepper, even lost the position. But we were so focused on the leaders, so I apologize for that. I noticed it, but there was no time. Sorry. Because, wow, what a finish between Martinez and Sipula. What a show. What a race. I really enjoyed that finish. Congratulations to each and everyone. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. What a race! Is there more I can say? Not really, apart from congratulations, Joshua Martinez. And with that, another race for the Limit of Adhesion Endurance League is done. We have one more after this. I am looking forward to this. Hope it will be a good season finale. I can already tell you more cars in that than this. How many? Let's find out together next time for the Limit of Adhesion. My name is Patrick. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and see you next time.